Hey everyone, I'm Jake Cohen, editorial director here at Feedfeed, and today we're with our friends at American Express Gold Card to show you the perfect latke recipe. Hanukkah's coming up, and I'm going to show you all of my tips and tricks for crispy, delicious potato pancakes. Latkes only need 5 ingredients for perfection: eggs, salt, matzo meal, onion, pound of russet potatoes. Just gonna peel them, and then we're gonna grate them with a box grater. I have a bowl that I've lined with cheesecloth and a box grater. I'm gonna show you a little bit of science when it comes to grating potatoes. You can use a food processor with the grating attachment, but we're just doing 2 potatoes today, so I have no issue putting a little elbow grease into it. We're gonna use the coarse side, we're gonna grate straight into the bowl. I have been known to always hand grate my latkes. I even did a Hanukkah party for 80 people. That's how I stay in shape. That's the only way you can eat so many latkes, is by grating your own potatoes. Last but not least, 1/4 of an onion. This just adds really great flavor. Doesn't have to be perfect. It'll start to fall apart a little. Just mash them in. Any like giant pieces you could take out, save for hash browns tomorrow. And we got it. I am going to wrap the cheesecloth around all of our grated onions and potatoes and twist and squeeze out all that juice. I'm gonna put the liquid aside for a minute. So, the secret to crispy potatoes is getting rid of all of that moisture. But that's not all. I'm gonna show you, this is where the science part comes in. Grated potatoes and onions are gonna go into another bowl. Now to the potatoes, we're going to add in 2 eggs, a 1/4 cup of matzo meal, and 2 teaspoons of salt. So we're adding the eggs, and that's gonna help bind the latkes, but the matzo meal is what's gonna soak up all of that moisture, so you get this perfect consistency. It's going to be kind of held together just enough. And then 2 teaspoons of salt. Don't try to use less, or else you will not have seasoned latkes. I don't want my mixture to be soupy. I want it to just stick together enough. Remember, we put that liquid to the side. I want you to watch what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna dump this into the sink, and you're gonna see what's left behind. Left in this bowl is this white film. That is potato starch. That is going to bind your latkes and make them super crispy. When you squeeze the liquid, you always end up with potato starch. Once you pour off the water, you're always gonna have that kind of thin layer stuck to the bottom. It's just like the secret of old Jewish women across the world. Look at this mixture. It's sticky, it's beautiful, it's the kind of right consistency you want for latkes. As this sits, the moisture of the potatoes is gonna start to leach out, and it's gonna become looser. If that happens, add a few tablespoons of matzo meal. Same thing when you're frying them. The latkes are gonna soak up the oil, and as you take them out, you're gonna have less oil in the pan. If it becomes lower than a 1/4 inch, add a little more oil. Use that knowledge, and it's gonna help you get perfect latkes every time. Now all you need is a skillet heated up with a 1/4 inch of vegetable oil. So if you've ever made a smash burger, this is the same process. We're gonna take a 1/3 cup size scoops and drop them into the pan, and then use a spatula to smash them down. And smash. Don't overcrowd your pan. I'm gonna do 3 at a time. Oh my God, it already smells like Hanukkah in here. My mother would always make latkes around Hanukkah, and she is a fine cook. I'm not gonna say she's like the great cook that like inspired me to get into the kitchen, but her latkes are sublime. They're the best. And my sister and I, we would kind of stand by the stove, and she would literally fry them up, put them onto a paper towel lined plate, and we would immediately eat them. Like, you had to have a bowl of really ice cold applesauce from the fridge, because that was the only way you wouldn't burn your fingers, is by ripping off a like frying hot latke and just shoving it into cold applesauce. Let's see, how are we looking? Pretty good. Another few seconds, and then we shall flip. I like to rotate the latkes within the pan, just because you're naturally gonna have some areas that get hotter than others, and I want a nice even color. This is ready to flip. These look absolutely perfect. Bottom is golden brown. Put them onto a paper-lined plate to drain. We're gonna go right into our second batch. So this recipe is gonna make about 10 latkes, which is enough for a small party of 4. Just do a little math, depending on how many people you have coming over. If you're only serving latkes, you're gonna want about 4 per person, but if this is part of a larger spread, 2 should be plenty. So we're gonna plate it up now. There are 2 schools of thought when it comes to what to serve your latkes with, applesauce or sour cream. I will only serve applesauce in my household. That being said, you can get creative. I've seen people mix in grated horseradish into sour cream, get a little bit like fancy and do pear compotes. You can honestly do whatever you want with these potato pancakes. They're just so delicious. You have to go super quick. You want to make sure that people are enjoying their latkes while they are hot. There we go. All about the crunch. It's so good. The onion adds the perfect flavor. It's seasoned beautifully. The applesauce adds some sweetness. These are the best potato pancakes you'll ever make. I hope you make them. You can get the full recipe on the feedfeed.com and be sure to use your American Express Gold Card to earn 4 times the membership rewards points at US supermarkets. Points limit and terms apply.